So there's a story out of the UK that's been getting a lot of attention lately, and I thought I would put in my 2 cents, or 2 pence, as the case may be. But it involves a YouTuber who goes by the name of Count Dankula, which is a funny name. Uh, but here's what happened. Basically, he's a YouTuber, and I don't know how big he is. I've never really followed him or anything. I just heard about him recently. He did sort of a prank video. And what he did in this prank video was he took his girlfriend's dog, which is a cute little pug, and he decided to prank her by teaching this dog how to do some really awful stuff, like doing a Nazi salute. And I think he trained it to get really excited when he said a line like "gas the Jews" or something like that. So basically his idea was, I'm gonna teach this dog Nazi stuff, and it's gonna freak my girlfriend out, and it's gonna, make her really mad because her dog's a Nazi. He's basically like, I'm gonna make her dog a Nazi. That's gonna be funny. And he got brought up on obscenity charges, and he actually got arrested and convicted of this, and right now they're trying to figure out his sentencing. And it's been delayed over and over again. There's a lot of details I'm leaving out. You can go look up the story yourself to get all those. But basically, it's something that bothers me. It sets a really not great precedent. Now, I know that in other countries, in the UK maybe one of them, there are specific laws about using Nazi slogans, Nazi propaganda, promoting Nazism and stuff like that. And it's stricter in other places than it is here in the United States. I imagine if my country got bombed all to hell by Nazis, I would have a more strict interpretation of all that as well. But the thing that I have a problem with is, first of all, as a YouTuber, somebody who makes my living doing this kind of thing, and as somebody that I identify more as a comedian than I do a science person. My channel has gone a science route, but I tell jokes, and that's kind of my whole gist. That's my whole thing. And I like I said, I identify, there's probably a better word than that, with the whole comedy thing. And my problem is that we're taking context out of everything. The context here with what this guy was doing, the context was that being a Nazi is awful. I don't think there's anybody that would disagree with that other than Nazis. And I don't think that that's something that the courts in the UK, or anywhere for that matter, I'm not trying to pick on the UK, this is just where it happened, but I don't think anybody in the courts would disagree with the comment that Nazis are awful. I don't think that you can get arrested for saying that Nazis are awful. He was just doing it in a way that was a prank, that was satirical. I'm going to have my dog do Nazi stuff. Or my girlfriend's dog, just to make her mad. But that the whole premise of that gag only works if you accept the notion that Nazis are terrible, right? That's not that gag doesn't work if you are pro-Nazi, if and he never said in his videos that I'm aware of anyway that he supports Nazism, or that he supports what they did, or that he that Adolf Hitler is a hero of his or anything like that. He never said anything like that. He never said that he agreed with it. The point of the entire joke was that Nazis are bad. And when you take that context out, you're killing comedy. You're killing the ability for people to be satirical and to make parody of things. And I know it's a very specific instance, and I know that it's something that deals with laws in another country, but I really feel like that's a trend that is very disturbing around the world right now, is that we are taking context out of everything. A lot of this was going on when the whole Me Too movement was happening. I don't know if I ever did a video or talked about the Aziz Ansari situation, but you got somebody that's just a monster like Harvey Weinstein, and I would put Bill Cosby in that category. And then you have people like Aziz Ansari, who was just he was just a bad date, basically, and he apologized for it, and he recognized that he was wrong, and people were still lumping him in with Harvey Weinstein, who had this systematic, organized rape thing going on. forcing people to do his bidding so that they could get, jobs and stuff like that, and ruining people's career if they didn't. Aziz Ansari wasn't doing anything like that. But he got lumped in with that because we take context out of everything and we take out the nuance of all the stories. We just lump everything in together. And when you take a guy and you say, you're going to go to jail, I mean, this guy could go to jail for doing a YouTube video just because he used Nazis to do it. I mean, like, he could have had this dog do something else that was awful. It was all just a prank for his girlfriend. He could have had the dog do something else. But he went with that because that is like the most awful thing you can think of. I'm not saying I would do a video like that, okay? And I'm not. I don't want to backtrack on this too much because you take away freedom of speech, and Ricky Gervais came out strongly against this. When you take that away from comedians, you take away the essence of comedy, and comedy is important. I truly believe that. Yeah, I had a thought and it just went away. That's the problem with doing these things unedited. Anyway, it's something that really bothers me. I don't think that it would affect me that much because I probably wouldn't do something like that myself. But something that I do, this is where I was going with it, something that I do experience quite a bit on my channel is, again, I think of myself as a comedian. I think of my channel as a comedy channel that happens to deal with science topics. And it never fails. If I make a joke in a video, there's always somebody out there that has the shit on it, or that doesn't get that it was a joke, or has to point out that there's an inaccuracy in what I said. Well, yeah, it's an inaccuracy. It was a joke. It was an exaggeration. It was made for laughs. And my thing that I started responding to people with when they throw a fit like that is like, let people tell jokes. Let people be funny. Let funny things happen. Let there be humor and comedy in the world. Don't take that away, okay? I know that you stand for something that's really important to you, and it's probably really important to the rest of the world. And good for you. Go for it. But let people make jokes. Don't take that away from the world. You're not doing anybody any favors. You're kind of part of the problem at that point, as far as I'm concerned. Because there is a pendulum swing effect. The more you take away people's ability to joke about something, the more it will swing back the other way. The more you delegitimize your own message there. Anyway, there's a lot of details there. I encourage you, if you're interested in the topic, to go look it up. But it is something that occurred on YouTube. It is something that deals with comedy, both things that I'm very wrapped up in myself. And I felt like I wanted to say something about it. It's something that I've been reading about, and it's not cool. It's very worrisome to me. But yeah, we need to let people make jokes. We need to let there be humor in the world, because that's not a world that I want to live in. It's a world where you can't make jokes about things. Anyway, that was my rant. That's been too much information. Enjoy your day, and I will catch you later.